Hey, witches!
Hi, hello, and welcome back. We are now on to book 2.
Iron
Fuck.
Flame!
Yeah, I was gonna say the first book and I forgot what it was called. Fourth Wing. Sorry. Listen, I have a
It's
lot of
fine.
anger right now and I just don't know where to put it.
It's fine. Um, so I'm not gonna lie, these first few chapters, I didn't write a lot.
I
We're
didn't
gonna
either.
use
It's really
six
hard.
chapters.
Yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of it is like Violet being like, "Well, he won't tell me everything."
I
And
know. She
then,
was really pissing me off in the first 6 chapters. I was like, "Look, girl, I get it." Like I would probably be the same way,
right.
but also like I'm seeing his side of the story too. I also see a lot of other
Yeah.
people's side of the story. Like, shut the fuck up.
I get both of their sides. Like, I also don't know that I would be able to be in that situation. Like, I don't know what I would do in that situation, but also just the constant whining. I mean, you know how I feel about
Yeah.
that with Feyre. She was just,
I also feel like you and I are at that age too, where like we've gone through that whiny phase. Like
yeah,
we already were there. Now we're
we've
like
done
those
that. Been
older
there, done
people that
that.
were, yeah, we're like those older people that were like, ugh,
Kids these days.
death on. Oh
Oh
my
my
god,
god.
I was looking at stats this weekend for the podcast. We got somebody from South Korea, and I was like, holla, hello, please teach me Korean. I am not doing too well. I am, but I'm not. I don't
oh my
understand
gosh.
grammar. Help me. Shout out to Busan. Please help. Okay, sorry. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, you're good. No, that's fine. Chapter one. The first thing I wrote was on page 2 because we jump right back in and
Same.
Violet has woke up and she's eating and Brennan is there and Brennan like tilts his head at her and he's like, "You've barely said a word, you know. It's kind of creepy." Uh because you're dead, motherfucker.
Dude, it's been 6 fucking years. A lot of
What
things
do you
have
want me to
happened.
say? You're dead. Like I went to sleep and I was severely deadly injured and went to sleep and when I woke up, my brother who has been dead for years is here and alive.
Right. And he's
What
and
do you want me to say?
like he on two I wrote something, but it's not completely, but like somewhere along the lines he said something. He's like, "Oh, you've what is it? He fuck, where is it? It says something where he's like, here it is. Um he's like, it's been 6 years. She's like, what was I, 15 when you left? Like 15, 14 when you left? I'm sitting here like, yeah, she's fucking 21.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I wondered. But it's like she's 21, bro. It's been 6 years. First off,
Yeah.
uh, d- does he even know that their father is dead? Because there's like a line where he was just, oh wait, that's a little later in the chapter, isn't that?
Yeah. But
Okay,
also
never mind.
I think he knows.
Well, and so there's like, I don't know, there was like a moment between them where I think I'm just skipping ahead. I'm sorry. We'll come back to this conversation because
Okay.
I wrote this a little bit later. But like there's a moment between them. This is just like the beginning, like tensions start where she's just like, "Excuse me." I
Yeah, and
love
like Brennan's like a fucking lieutenant or some shit.
Lieutenant Colonel
Yeah.
Isery. I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I also like how she's like, not that Taryn ever waits for permission. That just means, and then Taryn interrupts her like, "No, I do think you need to eat," and it's like,
Yeah, I too think you need to eat. Yep.
"Fuck you, Taryn." I was like, yeah, not violent thinking. Violet thinking Taryn is gonna appear out of nowhere, and he's
and
just like,
save her. He's
"No,
like,
you
no,
need to
no,
eat."
you need to eat.
It's like, girl, like his life depends on your life. Like,
right?
your strength depends on if you eat. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to
So
fucking
you
eat.
need to eat.
Like, you're in for a while.
And then she gets up, she's done eating, she follows Brennan because she's like, fuck that, I'm not waiting for him ever again.
Good girl.
And
Good for you.
she finds Imogen, however we decided to say her name, and Bodhi
I don't think we
in
ever
the
decided
hallway.
because we both say it different still.
Yeah. Well, they're in the hallway outside of the assembly meeting, which meetings are open to whoever wants to attend, but for some reason they're attending in the hallway.
I
But
know, and I
they've
was sitting there like,
like, what are you doing? Oh, woo!
and I was just like, if you can attend it, why are you sitting out in the hallway? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, because then we find out like it's because they're discussing them and like whether or not they should be allowed to go back to. Oh, excuse me, I keep yawning. To is it Biscayeth? Is that what we said?
This guy, yeah.
Um, and there's some kind of offer um that someone, the Viscount Takaris, has made with to them, and Zayden literally says he can fuck right off with his offer, and I want to know what the
Because it was
offer
last
is.
summer. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, it was last summer. That's kind
right.
of like around the time that, like, not necessarily things with God, I keep wanting to call her Feyre. Last night I was like I was sitting in bed reading this, and I went to go write the first comment, and I was like, fuck, what's her name? And was like, what? And I was like, what's her name? I want to say Feyre, but it's not fucking Feyre. I was like, probably because I'm sitting here thinking like she's whining like Feyre. I was like,
Right.
fuck, what's her name? I was like, oh, Violet. I wonder if it has anything to do with Violet, because around that was last summer, wasn't necessarily when they got close, but like when she got into the Writer's Quadrant and
I
became
wondered
a
if it was
pawn.
that or if it was like if Viscount Takaris has a daughter or a son, either one.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
like,
a good one. I didn't think about that one.
yeah, that's what I was wondering, but I don't know.
Ooh, I like
And
that one
then,
better. I like that one
right?
better because then later on, if like there is a female protagonist, then Violet could be like, I'm better, but I can't trust you. Like,
Oh my god.
we could see some
I
stupid
can't
ass
even.
drama.
I can't with this whole chapter, which is annoying me.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like bickering about Violet.
I know. They're all like, well, the 8 of them, well, the 5 of them need to return. And it's like, bitch, who? Who's the 5?
Right. And then they're like, she needs to be locked up, yada yada yada. Like, okay. And then I think we find out, or we get a hint that Zayden has at the top of page 8 / bottom of page 7 that Zayden has taken responsibility for Violet. And I'm like, did he do the same thing he did with the other fallen?
I think so, because it says, as brutal of a custom as it may be.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Because
And
she like flips to Zayden like real fast, like, excuse the fuck out of me.
yeah, and then he says, I alone am responsible for Violet. And then he says, and if I'm not enough, there are not one but 2 dragons who have already vouched for her integrity. And then Violet fucking snaps. And I'm like, yes, girl. She's like, she is standing right here. So stop talking about me and try talking to me. And I was like, yes. And then Zayden kind of like smirks like, that's there she is.
I also really like that they're talking shit about General Sorengale, and it's like, you have two of your children standing right in front of you. Well, this
Right?
one pled his allegiance to us 6 years ago. It's like, yeah, but what did he do 6 years ago? Like, how did he do it 6 years ago? Like, did he just walk over to you guys and be
Right?
like,
Did you
hey, I'm
just
here to
trust
help?
him
Yeah,
all
like,
right away? Like,
what happened with him? You're gonna have to do the same with her? Like, fuck you. And then
right.
yeah. Ugh. And then she's like, what do you want from me? Want me to walk the parapet and prove my bravery? Done. Want me to betray my kingdom by defending Paromish citizens? Done. Want me to keep his secrets? Done. I've kept every secret except the one that mattered. We all know how you ended up in Athebyne. And then I was like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. That is not her fault.
I was gonna say that's not fair. She didn't
Yeah,
like go tell.
yeah, it's not like she willingly walked up to her mom or her best friend and was like, hey, did you hear about this? No. He literally grabbed her, unwillingly grabbed her. Well,
Yeah.
not unwillingly, but
But like, yeah, like there was not consent there.
he shouldn't have like looked into her memories. Like he should have just hugged her as a
Right.
friend and then walked away. But like that's how he found the information out. So fuck you,
Yeah.
bro, for assuming
Yeah.
that
He
bullshit.
violated her, so
So
fuck
Suri
off.
can go suck a big fat dragon dick because you know what?
Oh my.
And go choke on it, you dick. I don't know if is Suri the yeah, Suri's the female. Yeah, you know what? Go fuck yourself, Suri. You and Dane can go fuck each other. Go fuck yourself.
Fucking Dane.
Fuck you both.
Oh my
But
god.
like I don't know. But then like a bunch of annoyance things
Yeah.
happened. And I think what really annoyed me too is Brennan stated, knowing that she's bonded to Taryn, whose bonds get deeper with each rider, and whose previous bond was already so strong that Nowlin's death nearly killed him. Knowing we fear he'll die if she does now, that because of that, Rierson's life is tied to hers. And then she goes, disappointment tastes bitter on my tongue. Is that all I am to him? Zayden's weakness. And it's like, Brennan, you better not fucking disappoint me. It has been 6 fucking years.
I think some of that is Violet's own insecurity. Like, she is so, like, convinced that she's weak and useless and worthless and only good in the scribe quadrant that she's like,
That's how she's
that's all
been
I'm good
trained.
for.
Yeah.
It is. It is. But, like, also,
I
ugh.
wonder too if like her mom ever got more to do with like her upbringing more so than her father, if she actually was able to prepare.
Yeah.
Like maybe like spitballing here. Maybe at one point in time in life her dad was like, she's too fragile to do any of this, she's the baby, she
Mm-hmm.
had a sickness that nearly took her life, like all of these things summed up into one point, she had weak joints. Maybe he was just like, no, she will never be good enough for this, she needs to be safe, let's put her here.
Maybe.
I'm a scribe, let's put her in the scribe thing. And then Sorengale was like, we can train her to be better. And then like the dad was like, no, man.
Maybe. Um, I don't know. I can't figure out, and I know that like we're gonna learn more and it's gonna be what it is, but I can't figure out if one, her mom is actually even knows
About
that,
anything.
like, so part of me, this is my problem. Part of me thinks that her dad is actually the bad guy. Like, not still
Oh,
alive, but like that he's one of the ones that helped erase history.
yeah, I thought that too. I was like, oh, because there's a moment later on that like we'll get to where I was like, what if?
Right? I don't know.
So exciting. Okay, we're jumping
So
ahead.
No, yeah. Then we're on to chapter two. And basically everybody's taking turns fucking guarding Andarna because your bitch grew.
Hold up. Hold up. You can't skip past the conversation with Brennan.
I didn't write anything about it. I think I was just so annoyed with them both that I like skipped over it.
I didn't necessarily. Okay, I wrote a couple of things. I think. Oh, okay. Um, I wrote actually quite a few things about this conversation because I think I was just so pissed off. I was also a little delirious because I was falling asleep last night while reading this. Not that it was boring, I was just really fucking tired. But here's the thing. He and I love she's being so fucking petty to him. And it's like he's trying to act as if the last 6 years never happened. Not in like the sense of like I just didn't like, you know,
Oh, I'll be back.
it's not like he was just gone for like willingly left. Okay, he willingly left. Okay, hold on, I'm trying to, it's not like he just went to the store to get some milk and then never came back kind of thing. Like he went to war, he realized what was happening, and then he chose not to come back because he couldn't stand on that side of the fence anymore basically. So like I understand why he left, why he didn't come home, all of that good stuff. However, now that Violet and him are kind of back together in a way, he's acting as if it's never been a problem. Like
Right?
the last 6 years have never,
Didn't even happen.
yeah, like he still is treating her in a way as if she is that 14, 15-year old girl that he left all those years ago. And not a writer at 21 years of age with a very strong, like the most powerful dragon, and not only that, but another dragon. So like he literally has a powerful writer as a little sister, and he's treating her. Did you eat enough? Are you
Yeah.
okay? Are you this? Well, I didn't think I needed, like, you needed me because you had dad. Well, until we didn't. Like the
Right.
snapbacks, like there's things that she's showing him, like a different side of her. And
And
it's like,
also,
I've
that's
seen,
super fucked. Like, you let us just
yeah,
believe that you were dead. You let us grieve. And now you expect to just walk back into my life like nothing fucking
yeah.
happened?
And then he has the
No.
audacity, yeah, no. And then he's like,
No.
well, how's Mira? Well, speaking from his experience, she'd probably be a lot better if she knew you were alive, but
Yeah. Like, fuck you.
thanks. And I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I've survived because of the book you wrote. Like I've done this. I've done that. Um like you found out I survived threshing. Like, well, that's great. Cool. Um and and then she finds out too that like what is it? That because of everything that's happened, like he just magically just never came home. Well, I can't trust my mom anymore. Okay, but you decided to let like your sister, your dad, your other sister just live that life and not, try to help us, try to have us,
Well,
convince
and like
us.
a
What
couple
if he
things
came back
about
as,
that. First, Mira is now a writer. Well, now Violet and Mira are both writers. What if you came to a battle and they were on the opposite side? Were you going to be
yeah,
able to kill them? Also, how are you going to let them fly into battle and fly outside of the wards to fight, knowing without them knowing that there are venom and wyverns and that all of this is real? Like, how are you? What? Fuck you,
yeah.
Brennan.
And then he's like, well, the cadets don't know. The fuck you mean the cadets? They need to know.
Right.
And then he sits there and like he's like, "Oh yeah, well, we destroyed this iron box, or we did this or we did that, and we think it's a lure." And I'm sitting there like, "A lure? It's a Navarian." So not only did Violet just find out that basically they're enemies of the state now, give or take, possibly. There's a revolution happening or rebellion, whoever side you're on, and then there's possible lures made by Navarian devices in cities outside of the wards. So like you're saying that Navarre is creating like chaos and like purposefully doing shit like this. Okay,
Right?
cool. So let's just add on more to the trauma. And then like she's also sitting here like, do you not remember anything from dad's reading? Like accusing him of all the things, like the plethora of information that her dad gave her, which I think is I really like your theory that dad might be the villain because it's like dad's giving so much information, but like not a lot.
Right.
Like
Like,
what if
and he's not telling her that it's true.
what if he is the like maybe he was like originally part of like the whole like destroy things and like but then he like realized how bad it was and then he like tried to change a leaf and then he like died. I don't know. But
Right?
he she's like don't you remember any of this? And he's sitting there like no. I'm like hold on, first off, you're treating her like a child. You're outing her on all of these different things. You're telling her you didn't tell her for 6 years because I don't fuck all, I guess. I don't know. Um and then she figures out how to kill massive loads of wyvern in a battle by herself because of a teaching that her dead father showed her from fables that she thought were fake. And you're
Yeah.
over here like, you didn't know. And then you're like, no, I don't think that's true, or whatever bullshit you're spewing. I'm like, hold on, you don't realize the asset you have right here. You have a tool. You have literally somebody that trained as a scribe all her fucking life. She regurgitates information to keep her calm. What the fuck do you mean? And then she's a writer and a very powerful one at that. Okay, okay. Like I was getting heated during this conversation with him. And then she's just like, and yet you still like lied to us. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but I also like I'm pissed off for you. Like I'm also like I
Right?
understand. Like I get
Right.
it, but
Oh my God.
I'd be so mad too. But
Well, and
like
then we continue to like read about them talking about how corrupt their government is and how their government is just like being selfish and not helping these other people outside the thing. And I'm like, as an American, this is really fucking hard to read.
same.
It's
I
hitting a little
know.
close to home. I'm
I
feeling
was
cut
like
some type of way about it.
I might not be at a war college, but I'm definitely in Navarre.
Right? It's a little hard to read.
I was like, oh, okay.
And
I'm
then,
it's oh my god, that shit really pisses me off.
yeah,
Especially around like a patriotic holiday. Like people
yeah.
come out of the fucking woodwork and it's like America and it's like is fucking terrible. What do you mean? It's
Yeah, like
not
what?
terrible. Yes, it is. It is terrible.
Yeah.
Well, if we just get our asses out of these foreign countries, no, that it's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're there. It doesn't matter if we're not here.
If we
America
bring
still
prayer
fucking
back to
sucks.
schools,
God
that's
has
my favorite
nothing to do
one.
with it. Oh my god.
Right. Like it's
There
we
was
could go on and on for years about that.
hold on. There was something though where there was something that was I was saying today. Oh, we were talking about how like older people don't need puppies. Because like if depending on the size of the dog and like the type of dog, like it's gonna depend on a lot of different fucking needs, and like older people just can't do it. And when I made a comment about how my grandma got a dog and I told her that she didn't need one based on her age and that like no one, not no one, but like she's going to have messes all over the house and that like her brother, which is a terrible fucking human being, he also molested both of the like two girls in the family, which there's only two girls in my family, me and my cousin. And she refused to believe that because he's a man of God. Okay, well, Catholic priests are also men of God and they still fucking do
Right.
it to their children.
Right.
But
So,
right, she goes, it's a sign from God that she just wanted he just wanted me to have another dog, and I was like, okay, I'm done talking to you. We're done.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah, we're
not
done.
I'm not arguing right now. I'm gonna, if I had a gun right now, I'd go fucking blow my brains out because I'm so annoyed. I was like, okay, I gotta go. I
I gotta
gotta
walk
go.
away. I gotta walk
I'm
away.
gonna.
It's
All right,
it's gotta go.
all right. Bye, Grandma. Love you. Bye. I'll see you. When are you getting out of here? Yeah. Well, I gotta go. Sorry, emergency.
It's-
Like that. If God wanted me, no, that bullshit pisses me off because everyone uses it for stupid ass things. Like, well, if God wanted them born, He wouldn't have created abortion. What you like? Your argument made no sense. Like, think about it.
yeah, like all the way
But like,
around. That
people,
just
yeah, but like people still use that argument. I'm
yes, like
like,
no.
you said
This
it, you
is
just
not a
said,
religious debate. Like this has nothing to do with religion. So if you could
like,
keep God
ma'am,
out of
would you
it,
like to go get raped by your like family member, and would you like to keep that child
you'd be
forever and
forced to
always?
birth that child, even if it endangers your own
Killed you,
life and you're most likely gonna die.
and it will
Or it's going to
probably
be born
kill
with a
your child,
hideous deformity that's going to ruin its
probably
entire
kill your
life.
child. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if the complications of you surviving also increases the survivability
Yeah. Oh, and
or
also you're only
decreases
10 years old.
yeah. Oh,
Too bad. So
all
sad.
these people need to close their legs and blah blah blah. Stop having children because there's too many kids in the. Would you like to be a part of the foster care system? No, I do not want to get involved. Okay,
Then shut the
then
fuck up.
all right. Back to Navarre. USA. Yeah. What
Yeah.
country are we talking about? It's the
So
same one,
basically, now
right?
they're talking about whether or not um, their mom will let the other like leadership kill Violet when they get back. Like, because
Oh, that
now
was
they know
ballsy.
now they know like secrets and they know about the venom and all of this. And she's like, in her mind, she's like, there's no way my mother knew. And I was like,
I know when
but
she said that, I was like, "Are we sure about that?"
right, like she may not have known until it was too late that you were going with them. But did she know? And then they're like, um, they decide they're going. But she says, okay, so there's a kid named Mason that's with them, one of the marked ones or whatever. He's
They
like,
all
if
have
it
like
makes you,
weird ass like exotic names, and all of a sudden you get
yeah,
fucking Mason. And I'm like,
Mason.
what white ass name is
I mean,
this?
it's spelled kind of weird. But it says if it makes you feel
Okay.
better, I don't think your mom had anything to do with the war games this year either. HS was pretty loud about his dad planning the whole thing. And then she goes, fucking Dane. And I was like, ah! Finally! That's what I've been saying! That's what the fuck I've been saying! Oh my god.
Uh,
I was just like, yes. And then they decide that they're going to get back in 48 hours because that's when graduation is.
and they're gonna hit Dane where it hurts, and I'm like, how? How are you gonna do it? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna do it?
It's actually kind of disappointing. It's not as like,
Um,
it's kind of
I
anticlimactic.
know. I was like, oh my god, is he gonna like take away the wing leader position? Does he have that much pull? Oh my god, that would be so amazing. Like,
That would be
I
hilarious.
love that. But
But
side note, I really like Indarna's new look. Like,
yeah.
she's cute. I wonder if that changes her tattoo at all, or like her like little signet, like because it was gold because she was gold when she got her.
Right, but if it changes it to black, then she's just gonna have like you wouldn't be able to see it.
You know what? I thought about that when I was making the like little picture post thing. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to make it like her like back tattoo thing." And I was like, I can't make them black because then you wouldn't see the outline. I'd have
Right.
to outline them. And I was like, oh, I could no, that would look stupid because then you can't see the tail. And I was like, oh, whatever. They're just going to be flying
Side by
together.
side, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about that. But the I also Sigale is like towards Brennan, and she's like, "Oh, she's fine. She's coming around to me. I'm growing on her. Yeah, like a tumor."
Yeah, I know. The dragons are so fucking
And
sassy.
I was like, "You were the comedic relief. Like, if this were to turn into like a movie, like they need to have it the best sassy, grumpy fucking people ever."
Yes.
Like, have you watched The Office?
Mm-hmm.
You know the guy who plays Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be. I think he would make a good Taryn too.
I could see that. Yeah.
Any black guy would make a good Taryn, to be honest.
Not
Because they
any. Could take like Kevin Hart. No.
okay. Any old,
Okay.
older black guy. How about that?
Yeah,
Let's switch it
that's
up.
better. Because like Cat Williams is also older, and he would not be a good Taryn.
Oh man, those quips though that Cat Williams would do,
It
that would be funny as fuck.
would
That
be
would
the
make it
most
a
terrible
different.
voice for him, though.
Yeah, that would make it a different kind of TV show. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Chapter 3.
Master 3.
So
I
there again,
also oh, I was gonna say I really like Sassy and Darna.
I do too, teenage and Darna. But also, like, the first thing I had was on page 23, which I don't know where on 23 is. Um,
That's mine too. That's about Sassy and Darna.
Mine's not. Mine is about, oh, there will be no rest if they decide to execute the 8 of you on the dais. And I'm like, do you think that they would really risk losing Tarn by executing her?
I don't think they give a fuck.
I mean,
But
I
I feel
guess
like
no matter when she dies, he's probably not going to bond again because he's probably going to die. So, like, even if she lives to be old, he's probably
the end of his time. I feel like too, she like I feel like if she tells him like, hey, shit's going down and he doesn't not necessarily that he doesn't get to her in time, but like she's like slowly dying away. I think he's just gonna like kill
incinerate
everybody
the
right.
whole fucking
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Like you better have some pumped up kicks and better run. Cause you about to fucking die.
That song is so fucked.
I know. I was like, man, this is such a jam. And then I started like listening to it and I was like, I used to
It's really
room with
fucked up.
yeah, I
America.
used to room I used to room with a girl who had like really low self esteem issues. I think I already told you this. It's
Yes, I think you
honestly
have. I think you
it's
told me
Haley.
on the podcast at one point.
Oh, probably. I think
You
I
definitely
also
told me this story like fairly recently.
yeah I know I feel like I listened to it on Snapchat the other day, um, but it's called "Love Yourself" by
Yeah,
Haley Steinfeld. It's about masturbation.
it 1000% is. Yeah.
And she's like having a rough day, and I was, you know, not too happy with her, and I was also a little toxic myself, so I decided to make it worse. And I was like, "That's about masturbation. It's about self love, yeah, in the form of masturbation."
Yeah.
Are
It
you
sure
screaming
is.
your own name right now? No, exactly.
Yeah,
Bitch.
so there's
that,
there's
that's what
another
why I called
song
that
that's
name.
got similar like hidden meanings. Have you ever heard Bubbly by Colby Calais?
Yeah,
It's about an
or
orgasm.
the if you CK
Um
me, or if you CK me.
yeah. No, but
Someone's
the
like,
the bubbly
"Oh, I'm
one,
such." Hmm.
we talked our
When I
my
think of
senior
bubbly,
year,
I don't
we
think of that.
talked we talked our choir director into letting us sing that as our senior song. So there were 3 seniors in our choir that year, and it was 3 girls, and we sang that song together in like a 3-part harmony the
Oh
whole
yeah.
time, knowing that song, what it was about, and our director had no idea, and it was hilarious, and I loved it. Sorry, Miss K.
Well, now you do.
No, I guarantee you, Miss K does not listen to this podcast. She is quite religious, as far as I understand. She's a wonderful lady, but she's quite religious. So I guarantee she does not listen to us.
She is not involved.
Yeah. But anyway, then I don't have anything else to page 28.
So on page 23, literally, and Darna and Taryn are arguing with each other. So in Darna before would be like super, oh yeah, yeah, Taryn's right, like very like childlike, like agreeing with her,
Like a puppy
superior.
almost.
Yeah. Now she argues against everything, like straight up teenager. So like they're talking about like, oh, I guess I should have done rolling dismounts earlier in the year. And Taryn's like, nope, you would have broken every bone in your body if we did that. And then Darren's like, you don't know that. And
Maybe I'll take her if you won't.
yeah, she's like, or Violet's like, I'd watch it. He might get tired and drop you because obviously she's like drunk because she's not used to having her like full weight and she's
Right. So she's
pissy.
like a newborn horse, kind of how they like fall over themselves, or
Described,
a newborn
yeah.
deer.
So she's like attached to him because she can't fly herself right now. And she's like, his pride would never allow it. And then she's like, or Terrence says the dragon who spent 20 minutes refusing to put on her harness. And, and Violet's like, all right, kids, stop arguing. And it's like,
Yes.
this is nice. I like this. Just the
Yeah.
back and forth. But the next thing I have is on page 30 because a lot of this is like, they're like getting off their dragons. They're heading in towards the, into like formation. They're not necessarily like talking to each other about like anything, to be honest. They're literally just like, hey, this is the plan. Remember the plan. Remember to do this. Like, hey, remember to do that. Like, remember to shield. Like, she tries to talk a little bit about them, but then doesn't. Like, she like backs off, and then he's like, oh, right. She goes, no, absolutely not, or whatever. And then he's like, all right, so this is the plan, and blah blah, whatever. So then when they get out there, or when they start getting out there, he's like, um,
Can you hear that?
yeah.
It's the Kona ice truck.
Oh, that's, man, they're jamming.
Yeah, they are. It's fucking loud.
They're
That
like,
is
come out and get
outside.
some ice cones. um, so, and she's like, also like trying to be one-on-one with him, like, hey, how do you lie to your friends? Because like I need to
This is
know
what
if
I
this is,
commented on.
yeah. And like, bro, that's hard. Like,
Right. She's like, how do you lie to the people you care about? And he's like, Vi. And she's like, it's not an insult. I need to know how to do it. And I'm like, I just wrote, don't get emotional. I'm just being practical. Like, I was just cracking up.
right.
And then I
Well,
didn't
and
write
then
anything else till 31.
yeah, I got some on 30. But yeah, so then he's just like, she's just trying to get some more information. Like, how long did you know about Brennan? Since 6 years ago. So she like, he knew he never died.
The whole
Um,
fucking time.
yeah, and like,
How do you keep it that secret? Like,
especially to somebody that you really care about or even love.
I'm
Like,
really
you don't
bad at
even
keeping
know.
secrets. So like I can't really judge because I'm terrible at keeping secrets. But like,
I guess if it's a life or death situation, like I would definitely keep a secret.
yeah, but like,
Other than that, I don't.
also like, I don't know. I don't think that there's anything that I wouldn't tell Brittany. Like, I trust her. Now there aren't. She doesn't have a mind reading old best friend. Like, so that's it's. There are definitely factors, but like, I don't know that I could know something like that and not tell her. Like I don't
Yeah.
think I'm capable of that.
Especially because Brittany is so close with her family. Like,
Yeah.
you would see the devastation throughout those 6 years.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't really notice. I mean, you wouldn't see, I mean, if you were in Vi's position, you wouldn't be with her in those six
The
years.
whole time. Yeah.
But
But
like,
still like
yeah, even if you were, like, yeah. Um, but like, they're like rushing to get to Liam's location to get things before they burn it. Um, and
yep.
she's like trying not to lie to Rhiannon, but she's also trying to get, assistance, because if she dies, then they're gonna find the shit too, and then
Right.
everything goes up in flames. So like, she's trying to find somebody not implicated with anything. So she like locates her. They do all of that. They start heading towards the, I guess, what?
It sounds like it's getting louder again. They already drove by.
Oh, it's just circling back around. Um, so then they start talking a little bit more, and he's like, um, what is it? She's like, here we are. But as long as you meant what you said about telling me everything, and he flinches. As soon as she says that, he flinches, and she goes, you are going to tell me everything once I can properly shield, right? That's what you promised in your bedroom. Anything you want to know and everything you don't. Those were your words. Everything about me. And then she was like, oh, he is doing this to
She's like,
me
oh
again.
hell no.
That is not what you promised. And then he's like, look, I will answer your question. Anything you want about me, God, I want you to ask, to know me well enough to trust me even when I can't tell you everything, blah 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 blah. Because you didn't fall for an ordinary rider, you fell for the leader of a revolution. And I'm sitting here like, okay, understand. I
Yeah.
get it.
Well, and like I think that there are some things that I probably wouldn't want to know.
Oh, hell no. I'll be like, you know what? You are good to keep your secrets. You faithful? Cool.
Right. Like
That's all I
if
want to
it's
know.
something that's going to affect me, if it's something like my brother who I thought died 6 years ago is still
Then I'll
alive,
be pissed.
if it's
Yeah.
something like that, yeah, that's not going to go well for you. But if it's something like there are 6,000 troops stationed at this area and you don't want me to know that because you don't want Dane to read it out of my fucking head when he fucking violates me again, um, that I get. I don't really want to know that because I don't want to be responsible for those deaths.
Yeah.
But then the big like plan starts on the bottom of page 31, which is the very end of the chapter. They're like, it's time, keep your shields up, we're gonna go get Bodhi says we're gonna go get this night bear started. Um and they're walking in to formation, like everybody's in formation right now, and they're walking into formation, and Captain Fitzgibbon is reading the death roll, and he says Garrick Tavis, Zayden Rierson, and Zayden goes, well, this is awkward. I fucking laughed out loud. Laughed out fucking loud. And then like I was like, shut the fuck up. No, he didn't. Like out
Well,
loud laughter.
you called me.
Everything's like, hello. Well, it reminds me of what the fuck was that book they made us read in like Huckleberry Finn or something, where like Tom Sawyer's in the roof, like at his own funeral. Anyway,
Listen,
there's a classic
10th
literature
grade,
novel.
10th grade, anything I had to read for school, I skimmed. I read my own books.
Fair, fair,
I was up my
fair.
boyfriend's ass and I read the books I wanted to read, and that was it.
I always read the book that we were reading for school, but I always read it at my speed. So by the time we got to like the test, I had read 7 other books and I was like, not still reading that anyway. But that was chapter 3. And then in
Oh,
chapter
this
4,
is where things picked up.
Mama Bear Sorengale kind of comes out a little bit.
Oh fuck yeah, she does. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah. So she's Colonel Fitzgibbon or Captain Fitzgibbon is like, I don't understand. They're not dead. Why were they reported for the death roll? And the captain or General Sorengale goes, why were they reported for the death roll? And I'm just imagining her like little hair flip.
And she's
Um,
like 5'4", so she's like
yeah,
tiny.
she's tiny. But she's feisty, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And General Atos or Colonel Atos or whatever the fuck his name is, they've been missing for 6 days. Naturally, we reported them dead, but obviously we should have reported them for desertion and dereliction of duty instead. Um, and then Zayden is like,
Zane's
"Oh,
like, oh
excuse me,
fuck you.
what?" Um, he's like, "You sent us into combat, and you're going to report us for desertion." And then her mom's like, What's he talking about?" And they go back and forth. Um, but they basically lie
They lie but tell the
to,
truth. It's so fucking
yeah,
funny.
they do. They lie but tell the truth. So instead of telling everyone how Liam and Soleil actually died, they tell them that they died in a griffin attack at or right before at the Bane. Um,
Yeah, at like an outpost where they stop to water their dragons.
yeah, and they're like, "Why would I lie?" And they call Violet up to tell, and the general is like, "I would reconsider your insinuation that a Sorengale isn't truthful." And
I love it. He's talking shit about her in front of everyone, in
right,
front of the general, and I was like, ooh.
yeah, and then they basically lie about it all, but it works. Like they don't get killed.
Ugh.
And then
And then Dane is
um
like, oh my
fucking
god,
Dane.
Violet! And then she's like, touch me and I will cut off your hands and they can sort you out in the next battle.
Yeah. Touch me and I swear to the gods I'll cut your fucking hands off and let the quadrant sort you out at the next round of challenges, Dane Atos.
Yeah.
And he's
Fuck
like,
you, Dane.
what? You don't mean that. And she said, I do.
Your father just tried to fucking kill us. Of course I do. And you
And then
were in on it, you
they
bitch.
hit him where it hurts, which is his pride, which makes sense. But I was like, well, that was anticlimactic
I
because,
know. His pride would have been more hurt if he wasn't given the wing leader position, and that's what I was hoping
yeah,
for.
yeah. But instead, he's like, Zayden's like, she made her choice and it wasn't you. It will never be you. I know it. She knows it. The whole quadrant knows it. And, um,
Damn.
yeah, he basically just embarrasses Dane, but like also fuck Dane. Um, yeah. He's just fuck him. Oh, because he says, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, or that should be enough for you to keep your hands to yourself. But in case it's not, every time you think of reaching for her face, I want you to remember one word. And what is that? At the vine. And um, Dane like stiffens, and then Zane's like, shoo shoo, go back to formation, shoo shoo.
Honestly, I feel like he should have said something else.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it worked,
Yeah.
but I feel like if you're gonna go that way and you're gonna be like, you're gonna out you and Violet in front of everybody, including like her mother
Listen,
and everybody
so
in the fucking quadrant, like you should have been like,
there's like
I
a
fucked her.
huge shocking thing that's going to happen at some point in this book. Because remember, I had a spoiler and I'm super upset about it.
Oh, that's
But
right.
there's a huge, super shocking thing that's going to happen at some point in this book. And so, like, nothing before that so far is surprising me. Like, nothing is shocking me. Nothing is surprising because I'm like, what the fuck?
I feel like Dane is gonna be like, nah, Violet, you're supposed to be with me, and then like rapes her. but that wasn't in the.
Oh God, that's not that's not it.
I was gonna say that wasn't
I would
in
have a
the.
lot more vitriol for Dane if that was the case.
Right. Well, it it wasn't in the. This includes elements regarding war, psychological, physical torture, imprisonment, intense violence, brutal injuries, perilous situations, blood, dismemberment, burning, murder, death, animal death, graphic language, loss of oh fuck, grief, and sexual activities that are shown on the page. So I
I
don't
mean,
think
it
it's
could
on there.
fall under some of those things, but it's not rape.
I feel like rape is its own category. It deserves its
Right.
own category. Sexual
Yeah,
activities, no, it needs more of a
it's not
triple
that.
rating than that. Maybe
Um,
Jane kills her mother. Yo, that'd be fucked
are you just
up.
gonna keep guessing? Because I'm not gonna tell you even if you guess it right.
I am. Do you know how
um,
far into the book it was?
no, I don't. I just saw it
Damn.
on a
Well, it's probably like the last chapter.
fan website thing. Um, and then they're talking about they're like a resounding cheer goes up in the courtyard, and I've grabbed into a hug with Radok, then Sawyer, then Rhiannon, and even Nadine, and I'm like, who the fuck is Nadine? Like, where did Nadine come from?
I know. I was like, who? I was like,
Like,
I
and they
remember
mentioned her like
Nadine.
at least twice in this
I think
chapter, and I'm like, who
Nadine.
the fuck is Nadine?
I think Nadine is the one that Rhiannon's seeing off and on.
Oh, okay.
Where I think in like one chapter she was like, "Aren't you seeing Nadine?" And then she's like, "Oh, we're off right now." And then like Rhiannon went and like
Okay.
fucked somebody else or like Sawyer or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Well,
think.
either way, I was like, who the
I know. I was
fuck?
like, I don't even know what she looks like.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
don't
I don't
even.
even know who that is. But that is chapter 4. I only wrote 2 things for chapter 5. And
I
both
didn't
of them
write
say he's
anything.
not wrong there.
Um, I didn't write the first two things. I didn't write anything that was like noteworthy. It was just, you know how there's like a stigma against like lavender in real life. Like if I go to like Starbucks and I get like a lavender drink and I go up to somebody random, there's like a good chance to be like, ew, lavender, like you drink the flowers, like what are you, a hippie, like, like that kind
Yeah.
of like stigma. And then it's like every single fucking fantasy novel, regardless of anything, it could be like high fantasy with like fucking elves, or it could be a little war college drinking some spiked fucking lavender lemonade. Like that shit
Yes,
sounds
all the
bomb.
time.
No, I'm sitting here like, I want some lavender lemonade. I don't care if it's got alcohol in it or not. Like that sounds bomb as shit. And I'm sitting
I
there
don't know.
like,
I'm not a huge fan of floral lemonades. I
I'm
do
not
like floral
either, but
teas. But
lavender
like the
lemonade is so good.
what's the one that they have at the hibiscus whatever at
Oh,
Starbucks? Like I
hibiscus is
don't like
good.
that one. Also, tried the new refresher at Starbucks.
The one with like the red and the blue.
The boba. Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
boba.
no. I
I
like
didn't know it
boba.
had boba
Oh,
until I got
you
it
popped
and
it.
they handed me a huge fucking straw. And I was like, why is this straw so big? And Brittany was like, because it's boba. And I was like, oh, I would not have ordered it
I
had I
didn't
realized
I
that.
don't care. Like I never drank the boba because I didn't like the drink. I think I
Yeah.
stomached it for like 2 hours and I barely drank like a whole thing.
See, I liked the blue drink and
I don't
I
like blue
liked the
raspberry. I should have
flavor.
known.
Oh, okay, I do. And I liked the flavor of the juice in the boba. But the texture of the fucking boba, I was like,
Yeah, it's popping boba. I don't like popping boba. I like tapioca.
yeah.
Boba. Excuse me.
No,
Sorry.
I just no. That texture was horrendous. And then once you pop it, it feels like dead skin in your mouth. And then I was like, ugh, even more. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to chapter 5. I only wrote 2
Yeah.
things. Both of them say, "Oh, he's not wrong there." One of them was on page 46.
Her being drunk.
Violet's like, "I tell you we're not together because you won't give me the one thing I need, and you countered that it's good for us. The arrogance." And then Zane goes, "Confidence is not arrogance. I don't lose the fights I pick, and we're both allowed to have boundaries. You're not the only one who gets to set the rules in this relationship. And I was like, oh, he not wrong. Because she is.
If
She's
he's
being a whiny little brat. Like, these are his boundaries. This is his thing. And you can
if
choose to
he's
walk away,
yeah.
but you can't
If
be pissed at him because he has boundaries.
and if he's chosen to literally protect those around him for the greater good of a lot of people, don't get with the rebellion leader. There's a reason for
Right.
that. Like, for instance, in Mistborn, like, she was so pissed off that she never got told anything about anything with the rebellion. And it's like, girl, there's a reason why Kelsier's not telling anyone anything, because like
Right.
if he goes down and he's like broken, everything goes to shit. Like, if you're a leader of a rebellion, like there's reasons for you to not say shit. Like, there's
Right.
reasons.
Yeah.
Secrets save people in those situations.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's like the whole you don't put all your eggs in one basket thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you give all your secrets to one person, now there's double the chance that they're going to get out.
Yeah. I also
Um,
really like the quote that she said where he was like, "Are you drunk?" And she goes, "I'm pleasantly fuddled, but not entirely sloshed."
and then oh, he's not wrong, is actually something that Colonel Atos says,
Oh my god,
because
fuck him.
he gives them both their orders, and he's like, you guys are only going to see each other like once a week. Once a week, Violet gets 2 days leave, and she'll go to Xaden, and once a week, or once every 2 weeks, Xaden gets 2 days leave, and he'll come see Violet. So like the dragons can be together, and Violet's like tearing, and she in her mind, and he roars so loudly it rattles her brain. And then Zane's like, dragons give their own orders, and Ados says, guess we'll see. I was worried about our earlier conversation till I remembered something. And what is that? Xaden asked, clearly losing patience. Secrets make for poor leverage. They die with the people who keep them. And I was like, oh, he not wrong either. Oh.
I know, and
But the other thing that he doesn't know is like, those 8 people aren't the only ones who have that secret. And if you murder those 8 people, especially Xaden, like, they're coming for you.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, you could kill Xaden all you want, but Violet's going. And if Violet goes, you sure as hell know fucking Sorengale is coming after your ass.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like, think about the amount of dragons that could also potentially kill. It's at the very least going to probably
3.
kill Sigale and Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
At
And
the
it
very
could
least.
kill Andarna based on her age.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then that's assuming that it's only those 2. Like, some
And
of those
here's the
other
thing,
dragons might also, like,
if those dragons can see into their brains, they can see what's going on, who's killing who.
yeah. Who's to say your own bonded dragon won't be like, whoa, bro?
Dane Ados' dad is fucking stupid. Fuck him. But
Yeah.
also, Major
But so
Varys
is Dane,
sounds
so.
like, yeah, true. Like father, like
Yeah.
son. Am I right? Also, Major Varys is going to be a major fucking problem. Did you read that
Yeah.
little snippet of him in the beginning of the chapter? After 3 consecutive
Yes.
deaths of prisoners during his interrogations, it is this
Yes.
command's opinion that Major Burton Varys should be reassigned from an active wing until further notice. Sir, who are you?
Right.
Why are you here at this war college?
Yeah. Well,
How
and I'm
the fuck dare
wondering
you?
if like this is all being done under General Sorengale's radar. Like, does
That's
she
what I'm
know?
saying.
Like, I
That's what I'm
truly don't
saying.
know if she knows. I almost think that the dad was the one, like, using her position to, like, put these ideas
Leverage
out to
things, right?
people. Yeah.
Because the scribe
And
quadrant
now,
literally has their hands in everything because they have to.
right. Right. And like, I don't know. But
Ugh, terrifying.
The first thing I wrote is they're arguing again about not lying to each or not telling each other everything, and I can't even. Um, so the first thing I wrote was like, I have to say this situation is tough, but I don't know how I would handle it if I were her either. Like, I don't know that I would be able to just accept that you have secrets, but also the flip side, there's going to be some things I just don't want to know. So I don't know. I don't know how I'd handle the situation either. But she's getting on my fucking nerves. Why does the female protagonist always get on my fucking nerves? At least in these books. In all of the books, let me rephrase. In the books that go like viral on like Book Talk and are super popular, I'm like, this bitch is so goddamn annoying that I can't even. Like, she doesn't have main character energy. She has dumb bitch energy. I can't.
That is main character energy. What the fuck you mean?
Oh my god.
I'm curious at this point if we can even trust her mom. Like, she already lost, like, at this point, for all she knows, she already lost her one kid. Like, maybe she doesn't want to lose another one, and that's like that
Yeah.
was her fear. So, like, maybe not necessarily that she's in on it. Like, maybe she truly doesn't know a lot of things, but I don't know if we could truly trust her yet. And I think
Yeah, I
like
don't trust her yet, but
I feel like
I don't.
I feel like Violet's like, well, maybe we can trust her because like she actually was worried about me, and it's like
Yeah.
you could be worried about somebody that doesn't necessarily mean you could trust them.
Yeah, like I wouldn't tell her what's going on, but like I don't
They
think she was in on the
cool.
plan.
Yeah.
The
But
next thing I wrote was fucking Dane.
I I was gonna say I actually didn't, but then I looked and I was like, oh, I did. Um I wrote two things. Are they on chapter 51 or page 51?
Yeah, the next thing I said was on chapter 51. Fucking Dane. That's what I said, and it was on chapter 51.
So I wrote something about Zayden,
Page 51. Jesus fuck.
which actually happens before the Ados thing. Um so Zayden hits her where it hurts, like bad. Um she's obviously like they're kind of hugging like this weird because like they're drunk because of everything that's happening and he's leaving um and she's like kind of going in for like a hug and like this is their last time to be together um and she's like no anticipation, we aren't happening, remember that's your choice, I have every right to walk out right back into the gathering hall and pick whomever I want to warm my bed, someone a little more ordinary. It's a bluff maybe, or the alcohol, like she's admitting to herself that it's not true. And then he goes, you have absolutely every right but you won't. And then she goes, because you're impossible to replace, like trying to hit him in his
Oh.
confidence. And he's like, instead of agreeing with her, which is like what most confident people would be like, yeah, duh, no, he's like, because you still love me. It's like, you sir, how dare you. You
Yeah, and
hit
she's
her
like,
right where it hurts. She's like, all right, fuck off and leave.
yeah,
It's like, man, I would say that. You're like, all right, you know what? Fuck you. Go ahead. Go away.
go away, leave.
And then he's like, I'm trying to, but you
Yeah, you
love
won't let me
me.
go.
Yeah. And so then she's like freaking out and pissed off and she's delightfully fuddled, but not but not lost. So but yeah, then Rhiannon sees her and was like, you'll see him again. And then like she's got something, but she's fighting back a smile, and she's like, I got some good news and bad news. Bad news. Dane Ados is the new wing leader. Fuck you, Dane.
Yeah, fuck you, Dane. Good
But
news.
Rhiannon is the new section leader. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Yay.
I was
Fucking
so
Dane.
I was so hoping Day wouldn't get the position.
I knew he was going to because they have to keep that drama there. Like,
I know, but like the pettiness and the spiral of his dad leaving the war college and like him not being a wing leader, like that would have been a fucking good drunk story. I mean, it's
yeah.
typical. It's like a typical spiral story. It's kind of like a Tamlin story, but like
Yeah. But yeah, that
Get shit
was
ripped away from you.
part 1 of
Yeah.
Iron Flame.
And you know what? Hopefully next time we'll have a little more drama.
Yeah, it was kind of a
We
slow
didn't have
start. I mean, there was
just
drama,
slow
but
burn. The typical
not like
drama.
big drama. It was like
Yeah.
petty drama and annoying drama.
Yeah.
So
It was like whiny. That's what it is.
I know at some point
Whiny.
it's going to pick up.
Yeah. All right. Until next time.
Bye.